Teamsters Talk, and it's Tamika Austin. Teamster Talk. I'm here with Mario. I want to say your last name correct. Balderas.
Balderas.
Oh, I'm gonna mess that up. I'm from Texas. We got an accent. I got a lisp. And then we got Scott joining me as my co-host. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Excellent. Doing good.
Tell us who you are.
My name is Mario Balderas. I'm one of the business agents here at Teamsters Local 455. I'm also the president of the Colorado chapter of the Hispanic Caucus.
So how long have you been a Teamster?
35 years.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had to count.
You like being a Teamster?
Yes.
I hope you do, because I like being a Teamster.
Who doesn't like being a Teamster?
That's how I raised kids. 6 kids.
Are you serious?
Serious.
I did not know you had 6 kids. How old are they?
Ooh, the oldest one's almost 40, 38. The other one, the youngest one's 27.
Are your kids following your footsteps? Are they Teamsters?
I have 2 that are with the UFCW. They were in the Safeway, but the other ones are not.
So they understand how important
They
unions
know
are.
how important. They don't shop at Walmart.
Yeah, tell me who you represent.
Well, I represent Cargill, JBS, GBA, the Greeley Value Added, and Star Industrial.
So I know what Cargill is. Will you tell our viewers what Cargill is? And
Well, Cargill is a beef plant that has about 1,500 members. So I co-represent there with Kevin Potter and Chris Suazo now, who just came in. We deal with everything and anything, whether it's FMLA, injuries on the job, everything that you can think of that everyone's heard of in their own job is the same there, only multiplied by a lot more people.
and Cargill is beef, and so they ship meat across the world or just Colorado.
Well, there's many plants in Cargill. There's a few in the States. They're also international. There's in Canada. I know they pork, beef, lamb, everything. So they've done a lot of different animals besides beef.
But in Colorado, it's beef.
Colorado is beef.
And where does the beef go? I'm being for real, because
Where does the beef go?
Well, yeah, because
Well,
do I just go get it at King Soopers? Do I get it at Safeway?
they have other brand names that go through there, like Myers. If you see it at the grocery store, it's Myers, or Excel, it's Cargill. If you see Swift, it's JPS.
Oh, and then they ship that meat outside of Colorado, so it goes.
Yeah. Colorado's kind of a hub, so you see a lot of other nearby states get their product from us.
So, like, hypothetically, my family in Texas, if they see Swift or Myers beef, that came from
JBS
Okay, but you represent JBS.
as well.
And are they also meat packing?
They are a meat packing plant, but we represent the case-ready side, where it's the last stop. They trim everything down to what you see packages. They do la herencia, some of the taco meat. They also have accounts with like Qdoba, and
I like Qdoba.
yeah, they did Wendy's. They just started ground beef, so they make the patties for.
What was the third barn that you represent? What do they do?
Star Industrial, they do the fabrics. They cut them down, what people use for like scraps or rags. You use them and throw them away. It's the last stop. They pretty much cut like T-shirts and make them like a certain size. They box them up and they ship them. So mechanics use them.
That's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Different.
It's the last stop.
It's kind of cool that they reuse. It sounds like they reuse a lot of stuff that would normally just get tossed out. And
It's pretty neat. I mean, they cut the pieces with these little wheels and they just run them through, and it's really something simple, but it fascinates me because I know the beginning side, it could look like a T-shirt. In the end, you see this really neat looking package of rags. It's just.
Well, normally I have an icebreaker, but I'm going to make up an icebreaker. Tell me something that you think the members would find fascinating about you. Something that you do that's not even Teamster related.
Wow. Well, I like to ride bicycles, ride motorcycles. I like to do artwork.
Are you serious? What kind of art?
I've done painting, drawing.
Are you serious?
Some of the people that know me have seen them from art.
What was your breaking point that made you, well, do you start off as a steward or did you just come on as a
I
BA?
started as a steward. Again, 35 years back in the 80s, I became a steward. Kind of got put in a room and said, you need to have a meeting for the night shift because one of the stewards retired. So they wanted to do an election. So as I held the meeting, one of the guys says, "Why are you doing it?" I said, "The union asked me to do it." And during all the talks, he says, "Well, why don't you put your name on there?" And I said, "You know what, sir? If you want me to be a steward, you put my name on there, I'll run." I became a steward, and I've been a steward for 28 years, or something like that.
That's pretty cool how
It
your
is.
story started like that.
That's one of my favorite parts about being an agent, is having that interaction with the members and the stewards, and you get to see the growth from your members, and you had a part of that. You're part of that history, part of that. They're growing up, they're being brought up as Teamsters, and that to me is extra special.
That is the fun part. Is what made you decide to be a BA?
I think that it was just part of the path, because I wanted just to continue whatever was coming my way, just doing whatever obstacle I had. And when I got asked to be a BA, to me it was an opportunity. Being Hispanic and the only agent that we have here that speaks Spanish, I saw an opportunity to help people out. And being part of the Hispanic caucus, it kind of opened my eyes to where the needs were.
Matter of fact, now that you brought them up, one of the things that the Hispanic Caucus does, I like on Thanksgiving when you guys hand out turkeys and stuff, is not just turkeys. Let's just be honest. It's a full meal for families. And that's one of the things I really do love about our local and how involved, like, every group is in what they do. Like, the Horsemen is all about the kids. But you guys, when you guys are giving these turkeys or these Thanksgiving meals, I think that's, like, the coolest thing.
It is. It is. It's nice because you get to meet people that are in need. A lot of times people don't know how to get help, and when we put it out there to the membership, whoever comes up, it's your caucus, you know. So even after Thanksgiving, we still have sometimes leftover goods, like dry goods. Not a lot, but just last week we had a member call, and he's not in the caucus. He's just, you know, Teamster. Important still. Obviously, we care about whether you're Hispanic caucus or any of the other groups. But he called in, he was in need. So I said, "How far do you live?" And he said, "I live in Kersey. It's a little bit less than an hour away." And I said, "Well, when I get done here at Fort Morgan, I'm going to drive up there and take you some food." So again, I have a couple stewards that are in Fort Morgan that have freezers. So we have to add some meat and stuff that we have from JPS, and that donated some stuff to us, so we're able to continue giving even after Thanksgiving. Well, to me, it's my identity, and like all the people that work here, it's who you are. It's not what you do. It's just all who you are, and whatever comes your way. Like I said earlier, with the obstacles that we get, it's not punch in and punch out. You know, 24/7. You call me, I'm going to answer, or I'll get back to you soon. The volume of need is out there.
So, who can join the Hispanic Caucus?
Anybody can join the Hispanic caucus. You don't have to be Hispanic to join it.
So, what's the best part about being a BA?
I think I covered it, helping people out. It's just the nature. It is a job, but because you get to be yourself and, you know, take care of the members by way of making these companies do their part.
What's the hardest part?
Educating. When you're in there, you're talking to members, you realize how they don't know what the Teamsters are, how we help. A lot of times you think you're just paying your dues, and getting people to understand it's not just that. I mean, we had, for example, during COVID, we lost 5 members to COVID, and we lost 2 to car accidents. So we had 7 people during COVID that we had help for. So, I mean, how else can you do it? You have to help. Even when it's hard, you still have to keep pushing. It doesn't need to be seen. It doesn't give you any of that. It's not why we do it. But it's making sure that it's done. That's the best part, but it's also the hard part, because you're facing some of those issues. You know.
Tell us a favorite time that you used the contract to stick it to management.
A favorite time? It's always my favorite time.
Isn't it all of ours?
It's all the time.
But there's got to be one time though where, you know, management really dug their heels in, and you're like, "Nope, here's the language. We're doing this."
I can say just this year, one of them was they weren't allowed to punch in. We had a safety issue on the floor. A saw was not running. It smoked, so it caused like fire hazard kind of stuff. So they stopped it, so that overnight they were working on it to make it safe for people to go down. Management had told all the members that they weren't going to be punched in until they started working. Well, I was already on my way, so I drove up to the plant and let everyone, they started telling me what was going on, and I said, no, that's not going to work. So I went and hunted down the manager that said it, and I made him come up, and I had him explain to everybody that they were going to get paid from their time that they were supposed to be there because they were there. Because I had explained to them, hey, you made them be here on time. You can start their pay then. And he was absolutely wrong. And he owned it because I made him go out there. Of course, there was a big roar over it. That felt good because they got to see we do take care of business.
We got a game we play called Then, Now, and Next. What do you think that we can learn from people that came back then?
Wow, I guess it's a hard question. I think what we should do now is just be an activist and don't be afraid to speak your mind and not give up. I think sometimes we're a little bit soft. We need to take on that militant attitude that we used to have before.
Now, what can the next generation learn from us now, our generation?
To do a lot of what this local is doing right now, because we're focusing on all the genres. We're not just focusing on one group. It's focusing on everybody, the young group, the old. What is it that we all need, and to continue that, because I think sometimes in the past people thought Teamsters for retirement people. You know, I'm not going to be a Teamster for that long. I plan to do something else, and then you're there 30 years. So, you know, so I think reaching out, whether you come or go or you're staying, it doesn't matter. You still have to continue to reach out to the people that maybe would be left behind.
What can we learn from the next generation? So your kids, my kids, what can we learn from them?
I'm still learning. I'm still trying to learn it, because it's just that, being that open to say, I still want to hear what you have to say. I still want to know whether I get it or not, because there's some things that it moves so fast, and I'm still behind. But you know, whether it be technology and that, I think helps out. Cause
LMG. What does it stand for? What is the leaner, meaner, greener? Let's start with the L part. What's the L part mean to you? What's the leaner part?
I think on the leaner side, obviously we're cutting the crap, and the meaner side, we don't take any crap. And the greener, obviously, it's all about getting people their money, because that's where I'm at. If we're going to make contracts, you're going to make sure that we can survive it. I know when I first went to Cargill, in 2017, their top scale, or their start wage was $15.05. I couldn't believe it for the hard work that they do. So right now they're right where they need to be. They're at $23.50. Is a lot better than it was. I mean, it's more of the standard. I mean, we could always want more, of course. Good seeing you again.
Know your power, use your power, union power. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Teamster Talk. Follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, it should be Teamster Talk. And follow the local on their Facebook. They also have a webpage, Teamsters Local 455.org. Thank you guys so much for listening to me again, and Scott and Mario.